I have a few different cards in the sideboard. Really don't know whether they're good or not. This is Juice's list. I believe it came from maybe the play-in stage for their MPL thing. Yeah, I definitely want to give it some matches. He has a small article slash strategy sideboard guide, whatever you want to call it, on Channel Fireball right now that you can go look up if you want. But yeah. Red Rover, let our Steamkins go unanswered. That's not a good sign for our Steamkin to go unanswered. I would call it a very bad sign. Ooh, that's pretty bad for us too. Might as well smash this extra point of damage in there. It protects us from Crives Canarium anyway, and if they played Teferi, I'd have to use it in response, so I might as well get the damage. Well, had a pretty good opening hand, and then we've drawn what, all lands? I don't think we've drawn a spell, have we? I guess we had to draw a spell. So we've drawn one Wizard's Lightning, I guess? I don't remember. Huh. I just didn't have anything. Alright, so I assume maybe they're on the Cuneo. Cuneo Huey some type of Esper, maybe? I said Esper, but I meant blue black. Either way, I think I want this, and I think I want these. Not so sure about the Tabalts. They could have the God Eternal. Yeah, what the hell. Probably just sideboarding out some number of random burn spells. I'll start with this one, I think. We don't have Fight with Fire, or I'd probably bring in Fight with Fire here. For like the Blue God. Okay. And seems lit. Oh, I guess they're just an Esper deck with a medium draw last game then. Well, that's a little saddening. It's a lot more hoops to jump through. We need a few more of our removal spells now. Probably just gonna play this. Oh wait. I need to put control on and respond here. Okay. Hmm. What should we play? Kind of want to put a couple of creatures down in case they have a big Teferi next turn, so that we have at least a reasonable play. Because if I just play Chandra and they play Teferi and minus, I wouldn't be super happy. I definitely will start putting pressure. So I guess we could have killed Teferi easier that way, because now they probably just pick it up. That was kind of a punt. Probably should have attacked him with one and Teferi with one, but then the Teferi be at 4 now. I don't like how I played this game. I think I've thrown any chance I had of winning this game away. Lester's hand is like ridiculously bad. I mean ridiculously bad. That's not bad. I need to draw a card here. Well, at least I don't get a game to laugh. Another rough call. Probably supposed to play the Frenzy. I'm gonna play this though. Like I'd be in a lot better shape if I just cast Chandra the turn I didn't instead of the 2 Pyromancers. That's unfortunate. Let's start with this. So we really need to fade that Command a Dreadhorde / another Teferi. I don't care a great deal if they have Kaio's Wrath. I mean, like obviously I prefer they didn't, but ooh, that's a good draw. I'll take this Fault Erasure. Yeah, I'll take any creature at this point. Like they're kind of on fumes now. Ooh, that was a good one. They don't have a good block for the following turn, so we have that for us. They have no reasonable block here. They kind of can't not block as well. So that's pretty awesome. So they probably just block with the Guild Mage and take 3. Maybe take 4, probably take 3. I'm going to take 5. That means they'd have to draw something for the next turn. There you go. They still have to draw something for the next turn. I don't know why they had to tank so long on casting that. That seemed like a fairly easy play. Mm. A million cards win. Opponent had a lot of good draws too, though. It's quicker just to press this button a few times. Onward! A promising start. I missed sideboarded because if I was playing versus a different deck and played the match poorly and still got the win. I believe this is keep. On a positive note, I don't have anything good in my hand. On the unpositive note is I think we'll struggle very hard versus what I'm assuming is Sultai Scape Shift. With this type of draw anyway. And awesome for us, we missed a land 3 turns in a row. Which pretty well ensures we're dead. Awesome. Well, that's unfortunate for us. Now they get to flip Search for Azcanta, and there's just no way we can win. Their hand has to basically be aired now and then whiff on the first search. And neither of those things happened, so we're dead. A lot of things went wrong this game. They have counter spells as well. If we still don't get a way to gain life or another counter spell in their hand, we'll go ahead and go on to the next game. Think we get 2 more draw steps. They can target their own creature, right? Let me just pick them up now. Well, I definitely want this. Probably want these. Probably want some number of these. They didn't really show me any creatures, so. A pretty medium draw there, and they had a main deck Wrath on 3. This type of draw's terrible versus the Legions deck. Could just stone get 3 for 1, but And I'll often play around things like that. I just don't think this is the match that I can. He's just in such a good card. Yeah. Like I said, I very often, when I was playing versus vampires yesterday, I was sideboarding out, you know, down to 2 ofs and 3 ofs on almost all of my creatures. Just doesn't feel like I have that opportunity to do that versus this style of deck. But we knew if they had it, the game was going to be over. Assuming they have a negate, even though I'm confident that I don't think negate's good in this match. I don't really want to negate when my opponent's sideboarding down to just spells that don't matter. Can't ever beat that card. Can't ever attack that card. It's too good. We're just not going to beat decks like that ever. On the positive note, decks like that can't ever beat Scape Shift. They can't ever beat Nexus, so I don't understand how they get played. Awesome. This certainly is not the hand you want in a mirror. I have a bunch of cards in my hand that I'll be sideboarding out in the mirror. No, that's not a mirror, but principle applies. This is a pretty good match for us. But, if we don't draw lands for the next 2 turns, we just don't have a chance. If they get lucky and have the double shock or the double op too, it's pretty bad for us. Looks like they do. Happens about once in 50 games or something. It doesn't happen too often. And we didn't hit land 3, so it didn't matter. The game was over anyway. There was literally nothing we could do. Let's go ahead and go on to the next game. Not waste our time. Where are they at? I don't see them all. That's because they're a weird color looking at me. Hey, Boot, what's up? No, just losing. not drawing lands a lot. What are you into today? Do we get to keep a 7? We do not get to keep a 7. We don't get to keep a 6. The old usual. Yeah, it's usual for me too. Not keeping 7s. They're fun. Whatever, I'll keep it. Guess I'll put the things that cost a lot of mana on the bottom. Have you enjoyed DC so far? Probably should have lighted up the stage, but... wow. Had enough. Can't imagine ever going anywhere other than good old Kentucky. I don't have anything else to do with my mana, so... wee. Oh, good golly. We get to play a spell. The Phoenix. I don't have a Shocker and Opt, who knows. Awesome. I haven't played in a few weeks. That's not fun. Actually, it is kind of fun. I wish I hadn't been playing. I despise this standard format. I think it's god-awful. There's just one Phoenix in the top 15. I still don't know how we beat this. Considering we have no pressure and they have 5 cards. They're just going to resolve some kind of Walker, Mizzet here in a while, and it's going to be over. I should auto pass. I want to shock it. Wow. They found something better than this Chandra. That's scary. Well, that's 2 quick losses. Let's cross our fingers and hope to keep 7 and hit turns lands 1 through 3. I think we've won every game that we've done that and lost every game that we haven't. This hand's pretty crappy. It got worse. Might as well cast it. Maybe we'll find the land. Pretty sure this game's already over as well. I don't have a fast enough draw to win versus Nexus. Maybe if we get a Pyromancer exactly next turn. Then maybe we can. Red Rover, Pyromancer? That's not a Pyromancer. That doesn't even let me kill the Nexus if I cast it, does it? It would deal 1 to it, and then I could attack it for 4, so I can't even play that? It said Nexus, but I meant this thingy. Throw 3 at them, put them at 10, attack them for 4, puts them at 6, but can't ever beat Tameo if they untap with it. Can't ever beat Nexus dealing 6 damage to a Planeswalker either. So we're kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't spot there. The only card that could have mattered that turn was drawing one of our 8 wizards. I don't think anything else affected the outcome of the game. Like, we can still win if they don't have a root snare, I guess. We can only even do 11 this turn, is that right? 4, 4, 5, 11. Alright. So I'm just going to attack for 4 then. Don't know what I'm going to do when they root snare. Feel like nothing lets me win, so casting this feels like it does nothing, and I can't really play anything else. I could lightning strike them and play a frenzy, I guess. Not really sure what that does either. I'm pretty confident my creatures don't do any more damage though, so. I don't know, Murph. Feel like I've had 2 good matchups in a row and just lost. Yeah, but the Sultai ramp files aren't real decks, and they're like 1% of the meta, so why are you trying to run into them anyway? Like, they're not good decks. People that are playing them are just playing them because they like them. If they actively think that they're good decks, then I feel sorry for them. Now, a bad deck can have a good spot in the metagame, but they're not good decks, and I don't agree. I don't think they're good in the metagame at the moment either. I feel like in the current metagame, you have 2 things you have to do. I think you have to beat Scapeshift and you have to beat Vampires, and I think if you're not beating both of those decks, you need to start over. But that's assuming there's an answer to both of those decks. Maybe there's not. Maybe you can't beat both of those decks. I've not found anything that beats both of those decks. Teamer Elementals, I guess, does. Maybe. Might be able to build a Teamer deck to beat them both. I wonder if I should just be playing Elementals. I don't even view Nexus as a deck. This is the first time I've been paired versus Nexus in over 50 matches. I do not consider Nexus a deck anymore. And I even feel a favorite here. I just had a really bad draw. Like I had an ultra bad draw. They didn't have a very good draw, but I had a horrendous draw. I'd say they had below average, but I had actual terrible. It has to be some form of Esper Hero or Teamer that's the right deck to play for this weekend. Fortunately, I've not saw either, and I don't build decks myself. Sand's at least average. Awesome. Um, that was a good draw, I guess. The way they're pausing here, I think they have Blink in their hand. Really feel like they have Blink in their hand. I guess it doesn't really change much. Hey, I was right. They have Blink in their hand. They drew a Callous Dismissal and a Blink. No. The way they're playing, I was pretty confident it was Blink. Oh, I'll win now. Guess I need to draw a 1-drop for red. That's a 1-drop for red, isn't it? I hate attacking that. I guess I don't need to attack it with this. We're going to be casting another... Am I going to cast another? I guess I don't know that I'm going to. Well, they have to fog or take every turn the rest of the game. The 19-point attack, so Blink and Callous Dismissal don't really do much. It's legitimately just Root Snare combo. Assuming since they're taking so long, they don't have either. And they're going to have to do some weird, like, Memorial Genius draw and hit it. Awesome. They hit it. Yeah, but Tameo's another way to get Root Snare. They obviously have a lot of ways to get Root Snare, but it's still get Root Snare. Oh, well, that probably does it too. I'm a big fan of drawing those two cards. They put on top. That's got to be game if they put on top. I don't think you put any card on top that isn't a Nexus. If they untap with Search, they win. Can't see their hand for sure, but I'm pretty sure that they just top deck like 3 cards out of 4 or something that were almost perfect. Yeah, I was right. Right, next game. Still feel like a favorite in that match, but oh, they've lost 3 straight. Red deck wins. Testing is going well. Makes me even more confused about what to do this weekend since I don't like any of the decks. Finally had good draws and lost though. That's a new experience. Awesome. And almost no chance it was the right play. Not a fan of that land. Card doesn't seem good. Opponent, why are we paused right now? Huh. I think I'd rather play this. Okay. I don't really view that as a card I care about. So. Kinda can't keep taking this. Opponent said I am wrong and that they will show me. Possibly. Yeah, definitely see that, Murph. Well, it just keeps taking a bunch of damage from me. Not sure what my opponent's out is. Awesome. It only took 5 clicks to make this work. Yeah, I mean, people forget things. Stuff like that's easy to forget too. Cyborg, all of these pretty things that have X in the casting cost. Or, not X, but, 1. And not the casting cost, the toughness. Cyborg out all of these things with 1 in the toughness. And some things never change, Reaper. Looks like neither of us seem like we're playing any new cards either. Fine, that's good enough. It's like pretty bad, but can't have everything you want. Yeah, you gotta get caught to get in trouble, man. So I need to draw a lava coil now, or I'm just, or the game's just over. The game's pretty much over anyway. I'm playing red deck wins, yet they had an unanswered turn 2 Steamkin, a card that's not even good in the match. But it is enough to win when it is perfectly unanswered. Ooh, blue-white control in modern paper magic. Nice. Jeremy was caught, and he was punished, and he came back, and to my knowledge, he's not been caught since. That there's only been rumors and stories since. Now, that may not be accurate. Maybe there's more than rumors and stories, but I don't know about them. Yeah, he got punished for that. Your comment was, it just seems like the better you are, the more you're allowed to forget things, and people like Dazani that just cheat any possible chance. Like, that's only a valid statement if he's still cheating. Which he could be. I'm not saying he's not. I don't know. I kind of want to gamble here because I feel so far behind. I feel like I can't win if they have anything. If they got a red spell, I lose. Back to being allegedly scummy. And if he is, he'll get banned again. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying he will get banned again if he is being. What? Actual perfects? And we have no outs now. That's unfortunate. I thought we were going to win this game. But all that went on the back of them having a Steamkin that I couldn't answer with my red deck wins deck that has 12 answers, or sorry, has 12 answers pre-sideboard, and we brought in more. So we had 16 answers for that on turn 2, yet we couldn't answer it. We're still just dead. Game 3. Hopefully we won't lose to bad cards this game. Because this card's very bad in the mirror. Notice I'm even sideboarding one out. Hand's terrible. Not gonna mulligan. They mulliganed. So, what will determine whether we win or lose this game is if we find like an experimental frenzy in our top 13 cards. Maybe top 11. 13 might be a stretch. Yes, probably 11. It actually is probably 12 to 13. Well, the problem is the pressure is not particularly good. Like, you have so many answers that you're basically just trading card for card. So having the lands and the light up the stage feels better to me than having, like, say, 2 creatures that you're just going to 1-for-1. Like I said, I believe the only way to win or lose this game is experimental frenzy or not being able to interact and getting too far behind. And when I say experimental frenzy, that also includes Chandra, like the 4-mana spells. Rekindling Phoenix, if that happens to be what your 4-mana spell of choice is. But like, I don't think you win this game by doing incremental small points of damage. I feel like you typically just dominate or you just lose. I'll take a turn off here and just play this. If they had 2 lands, I wouldn't play this. That was kind of a perfect draw. They should probably firebrand my Lava Runner so it can attack. And then they're missing a point of damage, but I think they're in the defensive mode, so missing 1 point of damage is probably better than taking 2. That's like the best draw in my deck at that particular spot, because even if the Lava Runner doesn't attack now, I still get to light up the stage this turn. Opponent's having a good long think of whether this takes 1 or I take 1. I definitely don't think they're the aggressor, so I'm pretty sure that this should just take 1. Or maybe they just went AFK. Okay, I guess they went AFK. Because they didn't use it on me or my Lava Runner. So I guess maybe they're just annoyed and timing us out. No, they're playing spells. The sad thing is like I'm obviously considerably ahead on board right now, and I still think I just lose this game if I don't find a frenzy. That prevents 4 points of damage. Well, it doesn't prevent 4 points of damage like that. They should have blocked and sacked. Probably choosing between like casting a chain whirler or killing my lava runner. If they are making that choice, I think they should definitely kill the lava runner. Again, I think they're defensive right now, not offensive, and I clearly have things in my hand. I don't know if they play Killing Phoenix or not, that's why I'm holding on to the lava coil so hard. Well, a lot of people call those Esper mid-range decks control, and they play like control. But if you're referring to like counterspell control, then no, I don't think there's a viable counterspell control deck in standard, and I don't think they will be until Teferi and Veto rotate, and/or Teferi and Veto aren't good anymore, whichever occurs first. But as long as Little Teferi and Veto are good, I don't think those decks can really exist. You might find one or two counter spells in decks here and there, but I'm referring to like full blown like old school Esper control with like 6 or 7 counter spells. I don't think those will exist. I know Shota or Seth or somebody had some absorbs in their Esper mid-range deck last week. I think they had 2. I think somebody else had 1, but I'm just talking about the overall theme of the decks. Well, they got to their 4 mana spell first. There's a good chance that just kills us. Assuming they find a way to kill this, obviously, without blocking it, rather. The fact that they're at 2 life and we're at 15 and I don't feel confident is kind of scary. Like, I'm pretty confident, but like I should be jumping up and down confident, and I'm only just pretty confident. But if that ultimates, it turns the game so quickly. Alright. What we got there? I've not liked the mirror in Modern either. I liked the mirror before those cards, but now it feels like you're like playing till turn 5 or 6 or whatever, and like trying to have a veto as well, and hoping they don't have double counter spell, and that just the first person to resolve an unanswered planeswalker wins. I like games where you can come back from an unanswered planeswalker. I don't think you slam 3 mana walkers and pray, Murph. I definitely feel like you just like try to grind them, and I mean I play the match the same way I always played the match. I try to never tap out in a manner that'll let my opponent be able to resolve a spell or try a spell. Guess I'll put this on the bottom. So like I play extremely risk adverse, so I'm just not just slamming my 3-mana walkers. I'm basically trying to dissuade my opponent from ever playing theirs. I have a pretty good draw. We've not been paired versus Scape Shift yet. Hopefully it's a Scape Shift. Okay, it is Scape Shift. Awesome. I want to get paired versus Scape Shift. Hopefully they're not time swap Scape Shift, which I believe should be every Scape Shift. Alright, so what can I do here? Kinda don't want to use this on this, I'd rather use it on them. We did it, fam. We beat Scape Shift on turn 4. Yeah, I think a lot of people overlook that Reaper, especially people that don't play online. I think a lot of people overlook that the forces say if it's not your turn. Anyway, I don't think these matches are particularly grindy, so any of the matches that I don't think are particularly grindy, I cut a couple of these. I'll try Blood Suns, but I don't know if they're good enough. This is in Juza's new list. I mean, I'm not sold on it, but I want to see it. I want to try it. I don't like Blood Sun, especially because like the opponents are playing Deputy and Teferi, so like they just control the board, play a Krasis, play a Time Warp, this, that, or the other, and then at some point when they have 7 mana, they just cast either a Deputy or a Teferi, get rid of the Blood Sun, cast Scape Shift, win. So I don't love those cards. I would rather have Alpine Moon, probably, because it costs considerably less mana, and I'm trying to like push a quick advantage, but like Alpine Moon doesn't replace itself, which is something. I don't know how much of something it is. I mean, I'm probably just wrong. Obviously, Juza's incredibly good at Magic and a lot better than I am. I'm just saying they've not worked out well for me. Attacking there kind of wastes both of our time, to be honest. Alright, so opponent's got the good draw. We don't beat the good draw. How important is it for us to hit on land this turn? It's probably pretty important. So like, here's a prime example of why I don't really like Blood Sun. I feel like I'm roped into playing it next turn, and I'm just giving them all the time in the world. I really just don't want to play it. Almost feels like I don't have a choice, though. Yeah, I don't really want to play it, but honestly, it feels like I don't have a choice. If it was just in my hand and not getting exiled, I definitely wouldn't play it. Huh. Next turn we can clear their side of the board, assuming they don't add anything else to it, slash have a veto or something. That's a good one. I guess I hope they just replay it for 2. Um, so we make a 6/6 this turn, then what? Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. Could try to get lucky. Let's try to get lucky is probably my best bet. Sometimes getting lucky pays. Uh, Still getting lucky at the moment. We hit a land, so time swap would be pretty good for them, but it would take most of their mana. And here's an example of what I was talking about, where the games just get extended. They bounce to Blood Sun. They can play like Escape Shift or whatever. And we can't even replay this Blood Sun because of the Frenzy. But they're at 7 life. They're going to gain some amount of life this turn. Depends on if they have like double copies of the one things. I assume not, so I assume they're just going to gain 2 or 3. I go to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably dead. But I guess we could hit a Miracle Chain with Frenzy. Especially since we have every land that was ever a land right now. Yeah, it's possible to deal 10 damage with burn spells this turn. It's not particularly likely, considering we've already gone through 1 shock and 2 lightning strikes and a wizard, so we only even have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18 points of burn in our deck. We have to hit about half of them exactly on this turn. It's definitely not likely. But then again, our last turn wasn't likely either, so. And I guess there's a world where we hit 2 Goblin Chain Whirlers this turn as well. Two Goblin Chain Whirlers wins. Strike 1. And we're dead. Yes, I know we only draw that mountain. But that mountain's coming into my hand before I concede. Alright, well. The Frenzy back in on the play. I had a glimmer of hope there for a moment when I drew the 1. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. Didn't happen. Well, we are now entering the last game of the evening. Ooh. Ah. Will we end up exactly where we started the evening at? Because I can't win with anything? Or will we just lose? Yeah. Oh god, the hand's absolutely unplayable. Alright, I guess I keep it. It's not very good. Beggars can't be choosy. Opponent also mulliganed. That was a game that opponent ramped on 1 and ramped on 2, or was that game 1? No, there was one game where they went Grazer into Rejuvenator. I just don't remember which it was. That's pretty nice, Murph. Congrats. I've pretty much ruled vampires out as my deck choice. Just don't think there's any chance I'm playing vampires. Probably supposed to forego 3 damage here and just play Chandra, right? I feel like I'm supposed to play Chandra. Like, obviously dealing 3 points of damage to him and getting an extra counter on Runaway Steamkin's good, but I feel like I might be needing to ultimate this. And I might not get 3 turns. I don't know. I'm not confident enough in my decision, but I'm pretty sure I was supposed to Chandra. Is it a local event, or like is it one of those MRG or whatever they're called, or SCG? Like, what type of event is it, Murph? Wish we had enough people for something like that. I got beat by Phoenix earlier. So they get 2 things now. Huh. Might not be right to play. Do they double block if I do this? I don't even want to give them a chance to double block, do I? Should have rode. Should have rode with Darby. I don't have any of that stuff in my area. Ooh, that's a pretty solid one. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know where he lived. You say his name all the time, so I just assumed you guys knew each other well, i.e., lived close together. This is the only card that could punish me for last turn's decision. Land, please. Thank you. Ooh, that's a pretty good, hard decision too, isn't it? Putting them at 2 seemed reasonable. Because that makes it harder for them to attack the Chandra. But I think I'd rather play this. And I held full control mode in case there's a shock on top of our deck. Which there wasn't. Don't need full control mode anymore. I can take that off. Felt like there was a good chance I was supposed to put them at 2 that turn with the Pyromancer, but not 100% sure. Pizza? I've never heard that Connecticut pizza was good. That's a new one on me. The Bloodsun's pretty nice though because it prevents scape shifting into life gainers. It does not stop a third Hydroid Crisis, but we can't beat everything. And now if they have a deputy, they can't target the Chandra and the Bloodsun, which they need to. They have to pick one or the other, which should give us another turn with Frenzy. I'm pretty sure we get another turn of Frenzy here. Oh, awesome. They have a third Crisis. We probably just can't beat that then, can we? I don't know. I guess they didn't gain that much life. They only gained 2. I've had Kentucky pizza and Virginia pizza, and I don't think I've had any other pizzas. I don't know how opponent wins now. Because they don't even have a lethal attack for the following turn. That gains me mana. I can't think of anything that they would have. So it was probably pretty safe just to sack the Frenzy. But I still had enough mana to. I wouldn't have tapped lower than that. Coal-fired oven. I had some pretty medium pizza tonight. Alright, cool. Played an entire night, ended at the exact same rank we started. And apparently I got a M20 rare I already owned. Yep, it's a card that I've never read and don't plan to now. Card I've never read, don't plan to now. Sounds perfect, right? I would consider the red deck wins testing like fairly medium. We didn't get paired. I think we got paired versus one Esper deck. We got paired versus one Scape Shift deck. We got paired versus 0 Vampire decks. So basically got paired versus none of the meta. And lost a whole bunch of games to off meta decks. Still have no idea what I'm playing in whatever this thing's called again. I always forget what it's called. Whatever this thing is this weekend. Have no idea what I'm playing. That's cool. Is Rossum streaming? If so, I assume you're going to cheat and ghost him because that's a Murph thing to do. But anyway, I'm hopping offline. Thank you all so much for watching as always, and of course, I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone.